So yes, let's do Vandanam. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakkuram Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So yes, as Maharaj rightly divined, the West London devotees, those who were at the Glastonbury Festival, they're on the road at the moment. We, with my wife's also with them, and the last I checked, they were at the services on the just off the M40 coming from Salisbury. As usual, it took forever for them to get out of the Glastonbury enclosure. So even if you're ready to go at 6 a.m, you've got a big queue to get out of there. So that's what happened. They're still on the way. They're still on their way back. But anyhow, happy to see everyone, and happily be with you all next week. Although this Monday, next Monday, I'll probably be flying in the air at this time on my way back to the UK. So I don't know, maybe Saraswati will host the program next week. But so yes, this week's subject, the worship of Krishna's devotee, is the real worship of Lord Krishna. And of course, we know this is true, and it is not just meaning ritualistic performance or something like that is what will satisfy Krishna, but actually what will satisfy Lord Krishna is the recognition of his dearmost devotee. And this is been illustrated in the conversation with Lord Shiva and Parvati. And Parvati is Lord Shiva's consort, and so she's asking him whose worship is the best worship. And famously, Lord Shiva replied, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Out of all worships, the worship of Vishnu, that is the best. And then Parvati, she's feeling a little bit crestfallen. Oh dear, the worship of Vishnu is the best, but I'm worshipping you, Lord Shiva. I'm not worshipping Vishnu, I'm worshipping Shiva and serving Lord Shiva. And then he goes on further to say, Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadyanam Samacharam. Yes, Devi, it is true, the worship of Lord Vishnu, that is the best, but the most complete and perfect worship of Lord Vishnu is to worship his dearmost. Who is dearmost to him, his devotee? That is the highest worship. Even higher than the worship of Vishnu is the worship of Vishnu's devotee. And then she became happy. Oh, and you are the greatest devotee of Vishnu. Vaishnavanam Jata Shambhu, you are the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu, and I'm worshipping you. So what could be more perfect than that? So we can understand from that worship of Krishna's devotee is more than the worship of Krishna himself. And why is that? Well, it's just the way that he prefers to distribute himself in the world. In Gita, Krishna is directly Arjuna's guru. Arjuna surrendered to him on the battlefield and asking him so many questions about spiritual life, fully fully surrendered. I do not know what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. I don't know what I should do. I'm surrendering to you. You please tell me. And one of the first things that Krishna says to Arjuna is Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. So this is a little bit puzzling, really, because what Krishna's, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, and now Krishna's saying, actually, what you have to do is you have to find a proper sadhu and come to him with exclusive regard, with relevant inquiry and service, and then he will be able to connect you with the absolute truth, because he's already established there. So he can show that to you, Tattvadarshi, because he's Tattvadarshi. He knows the truth. He's not just acquainted with the theory of the truth, but he is fully acquainted with the truth in reality. Then someone will ask, well, why is Krishna telling Arjuna that when Krishna himself is Arjuna's guru directly? He's already in that position, so why is he telling him that? Isn't it redundant? I've come to you, Krishna, please you instruct me, and Krishna's saying, go and find a spiritual master, and isn't that, it's a bit late for that, isn't it? They're about to have a huge battle, and he's like, oh, I should go looking for a sadhu. No, why he's telling him that is for our benefit, because in the context of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is like our proxy, our representative. He represents us, and so Krishna's saying, this is how the absolute truth is distributed in the world, through my devotee, through the sadhu. So this is the proper way to receive divine instruction, through a sadhu. And of course, that principle that flows through the sadhu, that principle of guru, that is Krishna. Krishna himself. Guru Maharaj said, the inspired side of the Vaishnava. That's Krishna himself channeling, you can say, through that devotee. So it's the way Krishna likes to do things. He doesn't usually distribute himself directly, but through his devotee. And his devotee, as Srila Prabhupada says in many places, is the transparent via medium to the Lord, the devotee of the Lord. So he's not opaque but transparent. So there's no you can say blockage between the disciple and Krishna. It is direct, and the devotee is like one lens in the telescope, which helps us to focus more clearly on the object of our vision, the object of our service, Lord Krishna. This is the proper way, through the devotee. And Krishna himself tells Uddhava in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, who says that they are my devotee. I not always accept them as such, but those who say they are the devotee of my devotee, then I can accept that they are really my devotee. Those who are devoted to my devotee, they're really my devotee. So this way, we heard from Guru Maharaj that when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was traveling around India, whenever he would meet any great, so-called great devotee of the Lord, the first thing he would ask him would be, through whom are you serving your Lord? Who is your master? Through whom are you serving your Lord? And if they would say, no, directly, I am serving Krishna directly, I'm serving Ram directly, I'm serving Narayan directly. And they were dismissed as insubstantial. So even so-called famous great devotees like Mirabai, Saraswati Thakur did not accept that her devotion was fully genuine, because she didn't accept or eliminated the devotees of the Lord, that their part in her service to Krishna. Of course, we shouldn't think offensively toward her. Srila Gurudev said once, if she were to come before us now, we would offer our full Dandavat Pranam to her. Her devotion is very great. But still, to show the proper line, there must be some connection through the sadhu, through the genuine devotee of the Lord. And this is not just perfunctory or the official line or something like that. It is the indispensable necessity. Even in of course, in this material world, we can only approach Krishna through his devotee. But in the spiritual world also, everyone in devotion there, everyone there in the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha, of Goloka Vrindavan, they have their master. They have their master or mistress, someone under whom they serve Krishna. No one serves Krishna directly except Srimati Radharani. Of course, those frontline devotees, they say, frontline devotee, Srimati Radharani, Jashoda, Nanda, and so on. But for everyone else, there must be some master or mistress through whom our service is being directed to the Lord, even in the eternal stage of Siddha Siddha Deha, or having attained our spiritual form, that Swarup Siddhi, or actually Vastu Siddhi. Srila Guru Maharaj said, even in the stage of Swarup Siddhi, which means when you understand who you are in the spiritual world, there is still possibility of falling down again into the material world. But once you have attained the position of Vastu Siddhi, that means actually being in your spiritual form, then there's no possibility of that. So anyway, that is only to make us understand that it's a very rare thing and a very serious thing. Devotion to Lord Krishna is not a game, or Srila Guru Maharaj would say, not a fun. It is not a fun, not just something that we do to entertain ourselves on those dark nights, or whatever it is. No, it is something that we should be very serious about, and we should take extremely seriously in all respects, if we really want Krishna Bhakti. So it is given everywhere in the scripture, this ideal of service through the spiritual master. In fact, Srila Guru Maharaj has said that it is the first principle of spiritual life, is the acceptance of a spiritual master and service of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. This is real service to Lord Krishna. Otherwise, it is more or less imaginary. So we should not be, fantasists. We should not. We're not interested in a fantasy Krishna, but rather we're interested in Lord Krishna, reality, the beautiful. So this is what we heard from our Gurudev and from our Guru Maharaj, and this is the path that we are trying to follow, sincerely trying to follow, and all of you also sincerely trying to follow that. And as Guru Maharaj said, our journey, however long our journey is, if we are in good company, then the journey becomes not just shorter, but more enjoyable. The longest journey can become something wonderful if you're in the company of good friends. So the Vaishnavas, they are real friends. So this is my contribution to our subject for this evening. Happy to be with you all, and looking forward to being with you in person very soon. Jai Gurudev. Maharaj, your sound is off.
Yes, let us be with all of you in person. Everybody come to Vila Govinda next weekend. We have space. There's a whole field down here, and we know where to rent
Jai.
from Friday lunchtime, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All this is going to be a festival in Vila Govinda Ashram. Hare Krishna. Devashish Prabhu, many thanks.
Right.
And it's Devashish Prabhu who gave us the topic for the week also. So very fitting, he begins. And as always, we're so happy to see so many devotees gathered here. And Gurudev will be very happy because the simple, straightforward glorification of the Vaishnavas, headed by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Rupanuga Guru Vaga, and family who've got this recognition of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada to come together and to give recognition to each other and have such topics as our Harikatha. So Devashish, of course, covered very beautifully the essential points, and also following on from how Krishna says, I do not consider someone who thinks I am Krishna's devotee to be really my devotee. He is my devotee, but I do not consider him so much. I consider someone who is a devotee of my devotee to be my real devotee. So here I've got a short quote from Srila Gurudev in Revealed Truth, and we'll just follow on from there. And the translators do have this. I sent a link for them. It's starting with the place where Srila Gurudev is saying, Srila Guru Maharaj very nicely explained Krishna's mood in this verse. So this is Srila Gurudev explaining, Guru Maharaj explaining Krishna's feeling. Krishna's feeling is, the flow of my mercy is always going everywhere to all of my devotees. But my devotees are constantly serving me 24 hours a day and never give me a chance to worship or satisfy them. I always feel I am indebted to my devotees for their loving service. And when I do not get a chance to serve them, I feel hopeless. So when I see my devotee's devotee serving my devotees, I especially bestow my mercy upon them. And in that way, I am able to serve my devotees. And I just can say that when we heard this from Guru Maharaj, a long time ago, as it turns out, I mean, back in 1982, then really it was such a wonderful expression and so like encouraging for us all. And we are right there with the devotees. Srila Guru Maharaj, he's all in all with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Gurudev's all in all is Srila Guru Maharaj. And there we are seeing their service to their masters. And not only in that direct sense, I'm only going to serve like my spiritual master or who is very senior. But Srila Gurudev's mood was first when he made an ashram or a temple, he would say, first I do Vaishnava Seva. And then Bhagavan Seva, the Seva of the deity. So everywhere he made arrangement for the devotees' accommodation. The devotees will be able to stay, and already they can do Nama Sankirtan wherever the center opens. And then presently he will make the place for the Lord to stay, in the sense of the temple for the Vigraha, for the deities. But I'll just continue how Krishna is considering, as explained by Srila Guru Maharaj, through here Srila Govinda Maharaj explaining. So continuing in Krishna's voice, as it were, I also consider the service of my devotee's devotee most valuable. The conditioned souls are suffering so much in the material world, and my devotees try to collect those suffering souls and engage them in my service through their Gurudev, my devotee. I am always sad to see, this is Krishna still, I mean in his voice. I am always sad to see the conditioned soul's sadness, and I am eager to serve my devotee. So I am especially interested in bestowing my mercy upon my devotees' devotees, to nourish them in their distribution of the service of my devotee. That dispels all the suffering of the conditioned souls and satisfies my own desire to satisfy my devotees. And this is Srila Gurudev expressing, Srila Guru Maharaj expressing Krishna, an example of the devotees, service to the devotees, and sharing Krishna's intention with everyone. All right, so I'm just going to read a tiny bit more, like 5 lines more, because now Srila Gurudev himself, like, is speaking in his own voice. Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj is saying, in this way, we can understand that serving Krishna's devotees is the best way to serve, and that our service to Krishna's devotees easily reaches Krishna. If we are real worshippers of Krishna, then we must try to satisfy Krishna by serving his devotees. And this is, to us, feels like the embodiment of Srila Gurudev. I mean, that was his whole mood throughout. It was service to the devotees, and of course, headed by Srila Guru Maharaj. And in fact, he's serving the devotees in service to Guru Maharaj. But everywhere we saw Gurudev's care for the devotees, his intention to nourish the devotees, to harmonize the devotees, to help everyone keep on going. Of course, initially, to help everyone get started. But the initial starting part of devotional service comes, in its way. Devotees become enthusiastic at the beginning when they come across so many wonderful treasures that we'd never heard about before, and coming in a pure line of descent. But Gurudev gave much attention too to nourishing the devotees, because he knows it's a long journey, and devotees need nourishment, they need encouragement, they need energy, they need assistance when there are stumbling blocks along the way, when there are challenges along the way. But Gurudev is caring for all devotees. Devotees have their different camps, which Gurudev didn't like, and he repeatedly said that he doesn't like that party spirit. But when the party spirit is there, he's nourishing each party, he's giving attention to everyone, and he can understand how these things come up in the world. But he's trying to always, not only trying to, he is giving the best nourishment for the devotees. So Gurudev was super personal, super caring, and everybody knows affection, love and affection. I mean, his Samadhi Mandir, very beautifully named the Temple of Love and Affection, which unanimously the devotees found, yes, this embodies Gurudev. And what is, how do we know his love and affection? It's his love and affection that's felt by the devotees that have come to him. He's not treating the devotees on the sidelines, that, okay, I'm serving Krishna, I'm serving Guru Maharaj, and I'm tolerating the devotees like that. That was never any hint of that idea. Rather, Srila Gurudev, everybody felt, was just bringing love and affection to them. And there are devotees, I can immediately think of one devotee, who really got in Gurudev's bad books. I mean, I can really say that. He got in Gurudev's bad books. But then I heard, sometime later, that he is expressing so much about Gurudev's affection, and even telling devotees, I think Gurudev was most affectionate to me, by his dealings, even though he, really got it, as I say, got in the bad books. But that, to me, when I heard that, and then our initial thought is, I'm not sure if you're quite right there. Obviously we're not saying anything, but we all have thoughts. Let's be honest, we all have thoughts. But then it also came to me that was how Srila Gurudev made every devotee feel, that they were the most, the most dear to him. Everybody had that kind of connection, that I am the most dear. And that devotee, and I'm sure genuinely is saying it, that he felt that I got the most affection from Gurudev. So this way, this is Gurudev's very living example of how to serve the devotees everywhere, all the way through. That it's through affection and love. The whole theme of every book that's ever come out of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and in fact of Srila Prabhupada, he's bringing us home. He's back to Godhead, back to home, all these things. And so home comfort, the land where we are with our family members, not just me and the king, me and the Lord, but with our family members. So everywhere, from top to bottom, the Vaishnavas are so important. And we have many Vaishnavas on Zoom, but we have our Vaishnavas here. And we would like to invite Keshavananda Prabhu to say a word or two. And he's got very good British accent. So who better to speak? Well, that's not the whole qualification. The qualification is that he does always have something to say, and always very pertinent to the point, and we're always happy bouncing understanding from each other around the room. But let us first ask to Keshavananda Prabhu to say a few words, and can clip on your microphone. The less you touch it, the clearer the sound.
Dandavat to all the devotees, to Devashish Prabhu and all the devotees there in London and around the world. I think I can't see, I'm a little far away, so I can't see who's here exactly, but Dandavat to you all. And we were thinking of Saraswati Didi and the team there in Glastonbury this weekend. We did a little festival here in our own humble way, and had a book table and gave some kind. Maharaj gave a nice talk there, but we knew that that the real battle was going on in Glastonbury with all those hundreds of thousands of people and so much opportunity there. So we were definitely with the London devotees, thinking of you all. Yes, the devotees are at everything. What can I say? It's been expressed so beautifully by Devashish Prabhu and by Madhusudana Maharaj through the words of our divine guardians. And, I'm sure some people come to Krishna consciousness through philosophy, or maybe they come through kirtan, or maybe they come possibly through prashadam. But I think, speaking for myself anyway, it was because of the devotees. Ultimately, as we've heard so many times, that it's all a heart transaction. It's about relationship with the upper world that comes to us through his own agents, the Vaishnavas, our master, our divine masters, our Guru Varga, our dear Guru Dev, and through the relationships with our brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, our whole extended family that comes as part of the wonderful gift of our spiritual master, as well as everything wonderful, everything chamatkar coming through that, coming through the Vaishnavas. And then as the years go by, as they do, I think we appreciate that more and more and more and more by their grace, by the grace of Guru Gauranga. I had some fortunate to try to do some little service in Vrindavan, and to be in Vrindavan is always very wonderful, although it can be a very heavy place. It's an intense environment. But when the devotees come, everything changes and becomes more beautiful and more wonderful and more sweet and more intimate, more real, less cerebral, or I don't know what the word is. It just becomes more wonderful when the devotees are present. They are like desire trees. All these things are actually true in my, what can I say, in my own experience. I'm thinking that, yes, and more and more. I remember when I was perhaps not even initiated, but becoming a devotee, and we sang the song Ebaro Karuna Koro Vaishnava Gosai, and I could understand that this song is expressing some sadness and some lament at the separation from the Vaishnavas. And then as the years progress, and we've been blessed to have dear, affectionate friendships and mentorships and all those wonderful words from so many devotees who now, as happens in the world, leave. It's the normal course of things. Then now when I'm singing those songs, I mean, no doubt it's sentiment, it's not devotion, but still it's something that goes very deep and touches just how fortunate we were and are to have the devotees in our lives, and to have people to turn to, and to, in those devotional relationships described by Rupa Goswami, and all the different flavors of that. We're giving encouragement to each other. We've got someone to turn to for advice and for help and for so many things. So can honestly say, through the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, said Shakespeare, this life is going to be full of it. We don't know what's around the corner. It'll be unexpected. It could well take the wind out of our sails or knock us for six, and all these wonderful English expressions. But the devotees, the Vaishnavas, keep us afloat, and the favorable breezes that come in their association, come in the trying to serve with them, under them, carry us through those difficulties, and on we go. And then I remember Gurudev saying in that talk, one talk, I think in Petersburg, where he begins by saying how happy he is to see everyone. I am happy to see everyone here. And whether you are my guru or my disciple, I don't know. It's astonishing from words from Gurudev. And he's not, he's absolutely saying it how he is seeing that. Whether you are my guru or disciple, I don't know. He's seeing with the eyes of the Paramahansa, seeing the divine purpose everywhere and in everyone, and determined to give due naturally give due honor and respect, and humbly encourage and nourish and nurture to bring in that direction where our gurus, that land of love where our gurus reside eternally and are so affectionately through their agents, through them personally and through their agents, through the Vaishnavas, are giving all encouragement to us to continue. Sometimes we're together, sometimes we're apart. We all have so many things going on in this life. This world is full of struggle, but the Vaishnavas give relief and hope and everything wonderful. Truly, it is chamatkar to have. It is chamatkar, and I've got the t-shirt. So anyway, you probably can't see, but it says chamatkar in big letters, because that's what it is, to come into contact with Sri Guru and Gauranga and the agents of reality, the Vaishnavas. So we're so happy, beyond happy actually. It's astonishing how a wretch like me could have somehow, by their grace, be sitting next to Munindra Mohan and Madhusudana Maharaj. Yes. All the devotees, it's and seeing you all throughout. Yeah, so Tuti devotee ki jai, I think just about sums it up.
And explain what is chamatkara and give a little Italian.
Well, we also have stupa facente underneath, which we saw in one purport of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, was described as, in Italian, as stupa facente, chamatkara. It's hard. All these words are hard to render into English or Italian or anything that isn't divine Sanskrit, because it is wonder and astonishment and amazement, but it's shot through with the divine. It's a divine, beautiful wonder, and divinely spellbinding. Anyway, we can get the idea from these words, but really all these Sanskrit worlds are just a little, what we get is just a little peek of really the totality of that. And then we can hear, of course, from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and the proprietors of that wealth, and they can give more and more insight into what is a single word or a sloka or anything else. But it comes out time and time again in our reading, and it's such a good description, because really it describes our lives in devotional service. Astonishingly amazing that we have this opportunity. And here Adalia Leader is busy bringing after how many births, she is bringing the Lord's Supper to him to Jai. I mean, I mean, that is inconceivable. That is chamatkar. So just bringing Lord's plates, praying that people accept the offering from the cooks and the gardeners and the devotees here. So wonderful. And the pot washers and the cleaners. Let us not forget. Bottle washers.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. And if you like, I have also some words directly from Srila Guru Maharaj here. And it is a short quote, but it's another angle of this theme of the devotees being worshipable. And so, yes, worship of Krishna's devotee is the real worship of Krishna. And so I'll just read just a short pass from Srila Guru Maharaj. This is in Sermons Volume 2. And this is a big reminder of us of really the importance of the devotee to an extreme degree. So Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami are saying, Krishna said, when giving his blessings to Uddhava, he said, Na tata me priyattama atma yonir na shankaraha, na cha sankarshano na shrir naivatma cha yatha bhavan. So this is from 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. So Guru Maharaj is saying that meaning is, neither Brahma nor Shiva are as dear to me as you, Uddhava. My elder brother Sankarshan is not as dear to me as you, nor even Lakshmi Devi. Even my own self is not as dear to me as you. And then Srila Guru Maharaj saying, it's a short excerpt, such is the position of a devotee, a bhakta. He's above Brahma. He's above Shiva. He's above Sankarshan. And he's above Lakshmi. He's above Krishna himself by the free, sweet will of Krishna. Ahang Bhakta Paradino. This is running in the current of love, not of justice, but through affection. Then Srila Guru Maharaj is giving an example to help us. As in India, in the physical sense or in the sense of law, we find that the husband is master of the wife. But it may be that through affection, the wife is the guide of the husband. Through affection, it is possible. This is another line of love and no matter of right. So when the Lord says, you are more than my own life, it is not a false statement. And that the Lord saying, my devotee is dearer to me than myself. If any danger comes to him, I must stand in front. First finish me, and then try to touch my son, my devotee. And then again, Guru Maharaj in his own words, as it were, this is the attitude of the Lord. If any danger comes to the son, the father will come forth, saying, oh no, first finish me, then try to harm my son. And then Guru Maharaj saying finally here, it is the way of affection, and that is our solace. Wonderful things, always wonderful things, and always this theme of affection, sweetness, beauty, charm. Devashish Prabhu is the MC. I can pass back to Devashish Prabhu, but we do have Munindra Mohan Prabhu is right here with us. Chinmoy Dev Prabhu is humbly sitting in the back corner. He's transcribing Gurudev and Guru Maharaj for subtitles often, and comes across treasures again and again. But Devashish Prabhu, over to you. You are the
Well, Maharaj,
MC.
yes, we are all just coming together to hear from the Vaishnavas. We want to hear from the Vaishnavas. So if we can hear from Manindra Prabhu, from Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, then is a very good day.
And a very good day. And Munindra Prabhu's accent is not British, but it's better than British. It's Italian.
Sorry for my accent. Vaishnava used to tease me so much because our French are like Inspector Clouseau. Jai Shri Vaishnava.
I tease you like that?
No,
Me?
Vaishnava Maharaj.
Oh, Vaishnava Maharaj. Shruta Shavarpur. Okay.
Yes, there is no question. Devotee are all in all. What can I say? I grew up in this school, and there is no even question to think that we can go to Krishna without devotee. It's not in my really. Everything I ever came through devotee, Gurudev first, and all his associates, Senior Vaishnava. And I remember also Gurudev said in one of his talks that if we cannot have a good relationship with the devotee, our life is not gonna be happy. Life is already hard. If we fight with the devotee, then it's really hellish. We have to establish a very good relationship with the devotee, and we see so many examples in how Mahaprabhu loves the devotee, serve the devotee, give prasada, go every day to meet Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, and embrace Sanatana Goswami with his body full of sorrows, and Krishna also serve his devotee. We heard in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita so much praise of how Krishna love for the Pandava, how he serves Arjuna being his charioteer and is also counselor of Yadu, Yudhishthira king. And in so many ways, he always so much affection with the devotees. And so we know if we serve the devotee, Krishna must be pleased. And he himself tells. So he's always in depth with the devotees. So there's no question about that. Everything through the devotees, Shrimati Radharani first, Lalita Vishaka, the Sakis, and the Guru Parampara, and our God brothers next to us. That's our line, Das and Das. So I can pass the microphone to Chinmoy Dev if he likes to.
Well, can you come forward a little bit? Okay. The humble devotees, we have to draw them forward.
Dandavat pranams, everyone. Thank you for letting me join today, and hoping that the nectarian words of the Vaishnavas will enter in the ear, and maybe a drop will touch the heart. On the subject of what Devashish was saying about Mirabai, I also heard that that lecture where Guru Maharaj was saying that why we don't accept her as proper devotion in the line of Vaishnava, in the line of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, is because she is ignoring the paraphernalia of Krishna. She's going directly to Krishna, ignoring the paraphernalia of Krishna, which includes his devotees. And we can also see it with Raghunath Das in his most extreme expression. He's saying, I don't want anything to do with Krishna. And the Krishna he mentions is the Krishna who's killing the Baku demon, right? Baku? Yeah, the Baku demon. That Krishna we don't want anything to do with, unless we have the mercy of the supreme devotee, Srimati Radharani. So that type of paraphernalia of Krishna. That is what we're looking to worship, to serve. And we can also see when Srimati Radharani met Krishna in Kurukshetra, Srimati Radharani is there, Krishna is there, but it's not the same. It's not Vrindavan. The paraphernalia of Krishna is different. So that's how incredibly fortunate that we are, is that the devotees that we're serving, the devotees of Krishna we're serving, it's in the Rupa Nuga line. It's Rupa Manjari, Lalita Saki. We're under their guidance and we're trying to serve them. So Krishna the king, that's wonderful. We're not just going to worship Krishna. We're not going to have a relationship just with the king, but with the queens, with the servitors, with the jesters, with the cooks, with the cleaners, with everyone who has that type of connection in the line of Rupa Nuga Sampradaya, that is worshipable for us. That is where we will be serving. So that's my small little contribution.
So small.
I don't want to say too much, but we're in such nice devotees here. I'd like to hear from them. Jai Mary Dev.
Devashish, your microphone is off somehow.
Yes, sorry about that.
Okay.
So yes, time drawing to a close. A few more minutes. If anyone else would like to say something, feel moved to contribute to our talk this evening, please make yourself known.
Okay, we have a volunteer. And from our Ukrainian section here is Nadia Sundari Devirasi, and she's constantly doing service with the words of our masters and the conceptions of our masters, doing translation very capably into Ukrainian. So a few words here. Microphone, yes.
Dandavat Pranam, Devashish Prabhu, and all devotees from London and wherever you are. Yes, it's like not volunteering, but always smile and say yes, especially to Gurudev. And yes, from my level, it's completely not understandable what is Vaishnavism, what is who is Krishna, but it's very simple to understand what is friendship and what is some relationship, and like Keshavananda Prabhu said that mainly somebody is attracted by kirtan or something else, but I was attracted by devotee of Krishna, and that devotee of Krishna showed me more devotees, and just that was melting my heart, because I was very curious to know why these people are like that, and that's all. And for now, some more understanding is there, but also through this relationship it's coming, and also if somehow like I cannot do anything to Lord, but if I can somehow to be used and useful for this great devotees, I think it's great happiness. So, and again to read about that, it's more understandable, because when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we get lost in all this. And also now very interesting to read Brihad Bhagavatam. It's yes, thank you. Sometimes I manage to pronounce this, but also there Narada Muni is traveling from plane to plane, and how egoless and how beautiful it is that all these prayers which he is offering, everybody just reject, and everybody say that no, I'm not like devotee of Krishna, I'm not the best, I'm not, and it's so far away from my position, because it's completely opposite. It's always everything goes from ego, and it's interesting to read about that. And this few thoughts which came to me while listening to this Zoom. Thank you, Dandavat.
Jai, beautifully expressed.
Jai.
Yes, Devashish Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj. So maybe a few concluding words from Your Holiness, and then we can wrap it up for tonight.
Well, concluding words is, well, I thought you were going to say them, but concluding words is that, you know, we always say that every day is a festival in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat for those who participate. And so as much as possible, I can simply try to encourage all devotees to participate as much as possible in the various programs, and somehow in your home to make that same mood of Navadip, of Chaitanya Saraswat Mat that Guru Maharaj and Gurudev gave us. Remembering that they're watching all of us, they're seeing how we're getting on. And absolutely most devotees don't live in an ashram or a temple. And so it is important to try to keep your home and your associates that you are with in a Krishna-centered mode, but then that means also, as we are discussing today, the Vaishnava-centered mode and mood. And as far as possible, invite Vaishnavas, have some programs, but somehow or another have some excuses for coming together with devotees. And you see where your heart lies and how you can do, but try to render service, keep some service connection with the Vaishnavas. And as we heard from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and Krishna himself, that the way to really engage substantially in service is to serve the devotees. So it's all teamwork. In a team, everyone's serving together and serving each other in that sense. And we saw this with Gurudev, so like exemplary way. And may we all try to make our own homes, our own life, Krishna-centered, and with the help of the structure that they've given us in Chaitanya Saraswat Mat and the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how to make one's household life Krishna conscious, just as in the temple. So with these kind of words, asked to say a few concluding words, our encouragement to you all and the devotees who are in the temple, many of them, they're going after a few days back to their home, to their environment, but taking that with them, and happy to see devotees coming again and again to each temple, to here, and when I was in London, to the London temple, to the Limerick temple where we were recently, and to the newly born 1-year-old ashram in Budapest, also very happily seeing devotees coming again and again. So wherever you are in the world, try to keep that attraction for the devotees and serving the devotees in the way that Gurudev and Guru Maharaj are always showing us.
Jai.
Anyway, happily in the association of you all, I'll pass the microphone back to Devashish Prabhu.
Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Rupanuga Gurubhagya Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai all the world devotees Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Devashish Prabhu. all of the senior devotees.
Jai.
We see Kumkum Devi Dansi is here with us, Gangalila Devi Dansi, and I'm a bit far away to see everyone, but to all of the devotees present and all everywhere. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Jai. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. London, Zoom, and London, East London and West London chapters of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai Devashish Prabhu.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda